The last 2 decades have been marked by an evolving labour market, leading to a shift of skills needs towards more digital and service-based occupations. The increasing skills mismatch and the endemic youth unemployment, especially in the South Med region, added new layers to pre-existing challenges ahead of the higher education and vocational training. Aware of the need to reinforce cooperation in cross-cutting issues as higher education and vocational and education training systems, the UFM launched an assessment study, paving the way forward to a dedicated strategy based on a multi-stakeholders approach, in view of the fragmented regional background of interconnections between the two educational systems. The strategy proposal falls within the framework of the Ministerial Declarations on Research and Innovation, on Employment and Labour, and the UFM Roadmap for Actions that puts higher education and technical vocational education and training at the core of its agenda. The mapping and assessment of the existing initiatives and projects carried out so far in the Euromed region, coupled with several consultations with higher education and vocational education and training stakeholders, particularly in the South Med region, culminated on a set of recommendations to further enhance the potential of higher education institutions and their synergies with vocational pathways. The strategy calls for the following 5 policy actions. 1. Empower public education sector at all levels by reinforcing the capacity of public education institutions, strengthening education governance, and allocating more financial, human, and material resources to modernize and rebuild education institutions' infrastructure compliant with the digital age requirements. 2. Promote higher education and VET institutions' engagement with industries by strengthening bilateral collaborations, consulting with key economic sector partners on skills needs, and participating in upskilling and reskilling existing and new workforce. 3. Enhance higher education and VET bilateral project sustainability by strengthening synergies and partnerships between donors and civil society organizations, ensuring project ownership and local partners' engagement, and developing a robust sustainability and exit strategy. 4. Improve youth and women employment by reducing skills mismatch, tackling gender inequality, and skilling the not in education, employment, or training population through the acquisition of technical and entrepreneurship skills. 5. Scale up successful pilot projects by developing robust monitoring, evaluation, and learning mechanisms, showcasing project and impactful actions through communication and outreach mechanisms, and promoting triangular partnerships north-south and south-south. 2 pilot actions have been identified to scale up and sustain the strategy proposal across the UFM region. 1. An initiative based on regional dialogue. This action aims to reach a common understanding between UFM stakeholders on key priority areas in response to the persistent challenge of skills mismatch and unemployment of youth, graduates, and NEET populations. 2. A workforce development initiative. This action is based on 4 pillars: capacity building and training, demand-driven programs for job seekers to deal with skills mismatch, sustainable and scale-up career-related services through job fairs and career days for an enhanced labour market information system, as well as youth counselling and mentoring workshops on job search techniques and interview skills. The development of entrepreneurship skills through basic training for vulnerable youth and innovation-led training for youth graduates in order to generate self-employed or business owners and foster job creation within new businesses. Strengthening of institutional outreach. The establishment of partnerships with private sector associations, service providers, and enterprises through work-based learning activities. The strategy for the UFM region, promoting synergies between higher education and vocational training, was initiated by UFM, supported by the GIZ, and drafted by Business Med.